Hello and welcome to this video tutorial to learn how to taxi and take off in the DCS MiG-15bis. The first thing we'll do is close the canopy by pressing left Control and C. I'll now rotate the valve here to seal the canopy. We can add some light to the cockpit by rotating the dials here. And now add power to the nose light, the artificial horizon, and the radios. Moving to the left side of the cockpit, I'll rotate the valve here to open the oxygen supply. Next, I'll move the flap handle from the neutral position down to the 20% takeoff position. This is indicated by the wing post on both the left and right wings. Next to it is the landing gear down post. I'll now turn on the nose light. The two most important gauges for this lesson are the engine RPM gauge and the airspeed gauge in kilometers per hour. Before starting the taxi, I'll press in the paddle switch on the stick, which will activate the wheel brakes. I'll now increase engine RPM to 7,500. Now normally this should be 6,000, however, I'm in a bit of a hurry. I'll stabilize my engine RPM at 7,500 for the taxi. Time to do a traffic check before I enter the runway. To start the taxi, I'll release the paddle switch and allow the aircraft to roll forward. In order to steer for taxi, I need to hold down the paddle switch while using the rudder pedals to steer. Again, in order to steer, you'll need to be braking and steering with the rudder at the same time. Once aligned down the runway, I'll firewall the engines and pull back on the stick around 160 kilometers per hour. I'll then allow the aircraft to fly itself off the runway at about 240 kilometers per hour. (160) and back stick. Maintain pitch. At about 240, the aircraft will become airborne. I'll now clean up the aircraft by pressing left Alt and G to unlock the gear, and then G to raise the gear. You can now see the landing gear post on the wing retract. Three red lights indicates that the gear is up and locked. I can now move the flap handle to the neutral and then the up position. This is also reflected on the wing post. I'll do a clearing check now to the right and to the left, and now I'll head north and do a constant peg exposure. As you can see in this video, taxi and takeoff operations in the MiG-15bis are rather simple. The only caveat to this is the manner in which you taxi the aircraft, but with practice, it becomes pretty natural. I hope you enjoyed this video, and in the next one, we'll learn how to land this bird.